Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing more behavior and body language from Lori Vallow Daybell. Lori Vallow Daybell has already been found guilty for her role in the murders of her children, Tylee and JJ. What we're looking at today is a hearing leading up to a trial in Arizona related to the murder of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. Couple of quick things before we get started. One, I wanted to remind you this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, the goal is not to figure out guilt nor innocence. We're just looking at behavior and body language. Last thing before we get started is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. If you've ever seen Lori Vallow in court before, this should be no surprise. Big smile on her face, trying to bring as much attention to herself as humanly possible. This is the way that she is at most hearings, oftentimes acting as though she's above anything going on, that nobody can pass judgment on her, and that she's invincible. That is oftentimes the air that she wants to give off. But I do want you to pay attention to this right here. Listen. She did let out a big sigh. So there could be a level of facade to these big smiles that she does want people to see that that's how she looks and that she feels exuberant and happy. But the sigh suggests there may be more to it. Listen to this part right here. Just watch this again. So that sigh, there is some degree of stress that's coming with this, no matter how big the smile on her face is. And there she looked at the camera. So the amount of attention that she's getting very likely is something that she values greatly. She's saying good morning to everybody. And I'm not critical of her being polite and saying good morning to people, because obviously it's much better that she's polite than that she's difficult. But it is that she wants to give off this air of invincibility, this air of being untouchable. Now you'll notice she's not standing. Typically, the prisoner stands as well because that's a way to show respect and show deference to the court. She isn't doing that. Maybe it's different in Arizona. I suspect it's not different in Arizona, but it is interesting to see that she stays seated, that her attorneys didn't tell her to stand up.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, date of birth?
Lori Vallow Daybell, 6/26/1973.
All right, this is the time.
Now, this was also interesting. After she stated her name, you can see her nose is up in the air a little bit. She's trying to give off an air of superiority. And after she said that, she actually scooted her chair closer. Now, oftentimes we see that people move their chairs back when they want to create distance. She seems to actually want to get in more. She seems to want to influence more. She wants to get closer to the judge. So even though that's a small distance, obviously it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. But mentally, when we do that, it means something to us. Watch this again right here.
Vallow Daybell, 6/26/1973.
All right, this is the time set for a complex case schedule.
Judge, we have yet to receive the bulk of the discovery.
Now you'll notice the wrinkles on her forehead right now. That means that her eyebrows are up. You've probably heard me talk about this before, that when we raise our eyebrows, that's a way to bring attention to our face. So right now, it's like, look at me, everybody. As they're talking about her, she wants to bring attention to herself. So she's not trying to hide like a lot of people oftentimes are in court. It's quite the opposite. She wants people to look at her.
That's listed in there, so we don't know whether we have issues at this time. So it's going, as your Honor said, it's going to take some time to get through all the discovery. We have yet.
Was there anything from the state that we need to discuss?
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Once again, there's that look, the wrinkles next to the eyes, which we show when we have a real smile, the big smile across her face. She wants everybody to see how good she feels, see how happy she is right now.
Given that we're going to be going through discovery for the next foreseeable.
But then watch right here. See, she's pursing her lips a little bit. She's pushing them together. And we do that to calm ourselves down when we're stressed, which goes to show that, at least from what it looks like, that some of these smiles may be for show. She knows how to fake a smile. So when I talk about the wrinkles next to the eyes making it look like a real smile, it appears as though it's a real one. That doesn't mean it is a real one. If people are good at faking smiles or it's something they've practiced, you can do a fake smile pretty well. And I think that she's practiced that quite a lot.
We would ask if we could waive Ms. Vallow's presence at the next CCMC.
Say our position on it.
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll waive your appearance for.
Look at the angle of her nose relative to the attorney. She really does turn her nose up to people. I've pointed this out on other videos about her. In a very real way, she does want to appear superior to those around her or to people that are interacting with her.
This management conference, we're gonna set that for, April 24 at 8:30 a.m. You'll know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll be at recess on that night, okay?
There's that awareness of the cameras again. You can see she notices the cameras. Nothing wrong with noticing their cameras, but it does seem with the behavior today that there is a real awareness of how many people are looking at her, the way that she wants to present, that there is some level of performance here.
All rise.
She's also very intense. Look at the amount that she's looking at her attorney. Typically, when we interact with somebody, we have a certain degree of politeness. We look at them, we look away a little bit, but there's a certain rhythm. Her stares are very intense. Just watch the way that she's looking at her attorney. See, once she locks eyes on him, she just doesn't remove them.
All rise.
There she is looking at the camera again. So we'll go ahead and stop here. I know this was a short video. This was also a very short hearing. Hopefully this is giving you a better understanding of the type of body language that we're seeing. It certainly seems that her body language looks very similar in this hearing as it has in many others. All smiles, trying to appear above everything, giving off an air of superiority. But at the same time, there does seem to be some stress there. There may be some cracks there. So maybe it does show that some of these smiles are more of a performance than they may seem. Maybe she doesn't truly believe that she exists in a better plane of existence than everybody else. As more footage becomes available, I will continue to provide more analysis. I did want to let everybody know that I actually found out about today's footage because a subscriber contacted me and said, hey, this is going on, so I want to make sure you check it out. I never mind when people reach out to let me know that there's a hearing coming up or that there's going to be an interesting case. I'm always looking for new cases to analyze, always looking for new footage. So if there's something you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comments below. Last thing before we get finished up is I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, thanks for watching.